Hey guys, Shane here, Pocket Knife Review. I wanted to go over something just a little bit different today. Um, this is my Benchmade Contigo, by the way, in case you didn't know. Um, and what I wanted to go over is, for most of us guys that are into pocket knives, kind of the second part of that hobby is you can't hardly help but get into sharpening. Because if you're like me, you like for your pocket knife to be razor sharp all the time. Even if it's a cheap knife, part of the pride and bragging rights and carrying your knife is how sharp it is. Um, One of the issues I have, those guys, is that I talk about this all the time, and I apologize, but I have neuropathy in my hands, so they're overly sensitive to certain things, like some types of jimping. However, my they're also under sensitive as far as feeling for things. It's hard to explain. It's like when I touch something hot, by the time that I feel it, it's too late. It's already burnt me pretty bad. But my point is, when sharpening a knife, I'm sure all you guys have watched plenty of Jared Neves' sharpening videos. Uh, the most important thing is holding a consistent angle and working that side of the blade until you raise a burr. Um, I've heard lots of people have lots of questions about a burr. What is it? How do I know when I've got one? I'll just be honest with you guys. I can't feel a burr. I just can't. I tried several different things there for a while. I used a Q-tip that I would lightly graze across the opposite side of the blade that I was sharpening, and sometimes the burr would catch the cotton and kind of tear it off the Q-tip. That kind of worked, but I had to raise such a large burr before that was effective that I was probably wasting a little too much steel. So what I did was I went out and I bought one of these. Now, guys, I didn't go big by any means. Um, I stopped at a little pawn shop that sold jewelry. So almost any place that sells jewelry is probably going to have a jeweler's loop that you can buy fairly inexpensively. I think I give $15 for this one. Guys, there are much better jeweler loops out there. I don't even know what power this is. But there you have ones that have built-in LED lights. Those are great. That LED light, I can tell you right off the bat, would definitely come in handy. I have to literally nearly touch this to my eye socket and hold the knife within an inch of it to get a good clear view, which of course endangers me cutting into my nose off. But that's beside the point. I'm not reviewing the jeweler's loop. I'm just talking about the advantage of the jeweler's loop. I bought it. I bought it the weekend of Super Still Steve's wedding. Put it in my truck. I kind of forgot about it. Let it sit there for a few days. Um, Finally, I remembered to bring it in the house, and when I did, I started kind of inspecting some of my edges with it, and it was almost immediate that I realized every knife I owned was poorly sharpened, regardless of how well they would cut tissue paper, whatever. The edges just didn't look good. Um, However, the biggest advantage to this is when I'm sharpening now, I don't have to worry about feeling for a burr. I can simply, because I use the work sharp, I can just pull a little magnetic holder out, hold it up to close to my face, use my jeweler's loop, and not only can I see the bevel I'm creating, but even if it's just a resharpen, you can certainly see the difference between what your stone is hitting now and the old edge. Even if it's at the same angle, I promise you can see it. It's like a different tone. It's a different color of gray. Uh, so that's helped me tremendously with seeing my burr. What else it has helped me with? Also, it helps you see your scratch pattern. You can see the scratch pattern very well. And what I've realized is that I had knives that were very sharp. They had a very sharp apex. They did not have a burr. They didn't need stropped. However, sometimes I could just feel a difference in resistance as I was passing through paper. And what that was, I'm pretty sure, was a difference in the scratch pattern. Like, when you're running your stone across this flat part here versus when you're running it across the belly, first of all, a different part of the diamond plate that's touching the blade here than it is here, because here you've got a nice wide area that it's touching all at once. Up here, it's only a very small part of your plate is hitting because of that curve. And what ends up happening is that same pass at that same speed is creating a different result here than it is here. And what I was realizing was is that transition between, and guys, these numbers aren't exact. I'm just going to throw some numbers out there to give you an idea. Between this 45-degree scratch pattern and this 70-degree scratch pattern, I could feel it in the paper. Does it make a difference whether or not the knife is sharp? Probably not, but you know, guys, like I've said this many times, we've gone way beyond need and into want, and you know, we've gotten really picky about our knives, and eventually you're gonna get really picky about your edge. But in my opinion, this thing is the answer, especially if you have issues with feeling a burr or even knowing what the burr is, or even if you don't, even if you can feel a burr just fine. This thing will show you your scratch pattern. It'll show you things about a factory edge that will piss you off. You take your coarse stone on a brand new knife, make a few passes at the exact same angle. We all know how to do that now. You know, you take your Sharpie, you color your edge bevel in, make a few passes, even just a couple of passes, and you'll start to see the inconsistencies where whoever ran that thing across that belt grinder to put the final edge on it, you know, they're human, so it's not perfect. You know, some parts are dug in a little deeper, maybe even a little bit different angle. This helps you find all that for a very, very cheap price, and it will help you perfect your edge. I couldn't be without this thing now that I have it. So that's my recommendation for the day, guys. If you don't have a jeweler's loupe, get yourself one. You know, you can do like I do and buy this super cheap one, but I would recommend probably spending about twice that money. I believe Alex Garland over at Outdoors 55 has a link to one he bought on Amazon that has a built-in LED. I think he even holds it up to his camera on his phone. I don't know how that works, but yeah, I guess if I played with it long enough, I can make it work. I'm not into those kind of videos. That's Alex's thing. It's why I watch his channel. He actually has a microscopic camera now that he uses for all that. It's really cool. If you haven't checked that out, go over to Outdoors 55, and Alex has an awesome sense of humor. I think he's hilarious. He doesn't take himself too seriously, and he's got some very well-made videos on sharpening and looking at things at a microscopic level and what a difference that can make. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. You guys know I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me, and don't forget, this coming Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time on Choir Boys Outdoors, I'm going live with Scab. We're going to talk about some knives. We're going to talk about knife rights and the upcoming Knives Live marathon, and we're going to give away my 500 sub giveaway knife, which is this Benchmade North Fork. This is an excellent EDC pocket knife. It's about the size of a bug out. It's a little more weight than a bug out. This full metal liner is a lot tougher than a bug out. So anyway, catch me there, guys. That's all I got for y'all. Peace. Love you.